Hey, it's Johara. Welcome back to my channel, to the Witchy Reader. So I'm going to be doing a tag video, and I haven't been doing much of them lately, even though they're my favorite videos, but I want to get back into doing tags, because I love them. They can be so much fun, and it's a tag I saw quite a while ago. I just haven't done it yet, and I really need to. It's the Avatar Last Airbender tag, because I love Avatar Last Airbender, and it was created by a clockbook reader. If you guys should definitely see her video. I'll try to see if I can link it down below so you guys can watch, and definitely check out her channel because she is amazing. She's actually the very first booktuber um, I ever discovered, um, and she remains to be one of my favorites, so definitely check her out, and definitely check out her video because I absolutely love Avatar Last Airbender, obviously. And when I saw that she did this tag, I got so excited, and I'm finally going to do it myself. Yay! Um, so uh, basically, there are 4 categories for each 4 of the elements, and 3 prompt or whatever for each element. Um, so let's get started, shall we? So first we have water. Sokka and Katara, your favorite sibling relationship. So, and just to warn you, some of these I have more than one because it is so hard for me to choose. But, so obviously I have, sorry, I got cut off. But obviously one of my all-time favorite sibling relationships have to be between the Weasleys, Fred and George. I can't speak specifically because we see them together like all the time, obviously. And but I love these Weasley as a family as a whole. But Fred and George are obviously awesome. They are funny and they clearly care about each other a lot. I mean, we've seen that. Um, and I absolutely love their dynamic and how they bounce off of one another and how they have the same sense of humor, and they are always one step ahead of the other whenever they have a plan or an idea for a joke, and it's just awesome to see their dynamic. I also have from The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel, Sophie, and Josh. They are also twins like Fred and George. Um, and I absolutely love their sibling dynamic. They, I just love how much they care about each other. I mean, they're ever since the very beginning of the first book, they got warped into this whole war that they didn't even know was going on. Learn about all these different things that they didn't know were real that existed, and they constantly find each other in trouble. And when one of them is in danger, or possibly going to die, or lost, or missing, or kidnapped, or whatever, they lose their minds and do everything they can to save the other. And they have some sweet little moments too, and I just absolutely love their relationship. And definitely check out Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel. There's 6 books. It's really good. Um, and finally, I also have the Charmed Ones, which is the series I'm currently reading. I've read the first 10 books so far, and there's like 41, I think. They're very small, as you can see. See, this is the first one, and I mean, in the TV show, I obviously loved their dynamic. I mean, they obviously care about each other, Prue, Piper, and Phoebe. And then after Prue died, they meet Paige, and they grow to truly care about her as one of them as well. And they become sisters, and um, yes, they fight, and yes, they have issues sometimes, but they love each other no matter what in the end, and definitely. Um, Number 2, we have UA, favorite star-crossed lovers. So for this, let me find it because my books are kind of everywhere right now. Okay, I have Warriors, Leafpool, and Crowfeather. They're in the second arc. This is the first arc. It was just right there, so it was easy to grab. But there's very little that I do remember from the ones I read, and I've only read 13 of the books, and there's a lot. But I do remember that Leafpool was one of my favorite characters, and Leafpool and Crowfeather was my favorite ship, or one of them, and I absolutely love their dynamic. But they had this whole forbidden aspect to their relationship for more than one reason. I mean, one, Leafpool is a medicine cat, and medicine cats are not allowed to be in a relationship or ever have kids of their own, because their entire job is supposed to be about only saving their um clan, like healing their clan when they're injured and stuff. Um, so she's not allowed to be with anyone anyways. But even if she did be, if she was gonna be with someone, she should be with someone from her own clan. No, she falls in love with Crowfeather from, I don't remember which clan he's from, but he's from a different clan than hers, and it's forbidden to hang out with anyone from the opposite clan, to let alone to be friends, let alone something more. But she falls in love with him, and so they had the whole, forbidden relationship aspect thing going on, and I really liked them together. Um, Number 3, we have Bloodbending, a book with a disturbing or unsettling concept. So this one I don't really think is disturbing or unsettling, but it is more of a darker concept. So that's why I went with it. At least I don't think it's disturbing or unsettling, but I don't get disturbed or unsettled very easily. So who knows? But I chose Shadowrun Chronicles. This is the first book, Maeve. I'll read you the back. It's an indie book, self-published, so and I definitely recommend it. There's only 3 books out in the series so far, but there will be more. Many years ago, darkness tore apart the world. They called it the Great War, for it was massive and involved all the realms of all the worlds. Enemies on either side grew their armies for battle, with heavy casualties. New allies formed out of this bloodshed, while old ones crumbled. The Great War might be over, but another one looms in the distance, and it all begins with a lonely mother named Maeve. Maeve once was a loving mother and wife, but darkness transforms her into a creature of the night. She is at the mercy of the Shadow King and her vampire master. So yes, so it is dark. I mean, obviously she's a vampire, but she isn't like most vampires, because when she was alive, she wasn't completely human. She was a fairy, I believe, and so that fairy part of her stayed with her even when she was turned into a vampire, and because of it, she still has her soul. I think, yeah, soul. She still has her soul, and she's not as dark and evil as most vampires are supposed to be, because that fairy part of her stayed with her. But I recommend. Now, Earth. Number 4, Toph. A character whose strength surprised you or surprised the characters in the book. Because it is Toph, and we love Toph. So I chose a couple for this one as well. I chose Neville from Harry Potter, because no one saw him, like, not the from okay, so book 1, I don't think anyone in the audience or any one of the characters could have thought that by the time Deathly Hallows came out, that Neville would be this awesome, fierce, strong, brave warrior that helped save the world by killing the last Horcrux, and became one of the strongest and most loyal people to Harry, to Dumbledore's army, and he proved himself to everybody, even himself. He surprised everybody, even himself. So obviously Neville had to be on this list, because Neville's just awesome, and he helped save the world by killing Nagini. And I also have who was the other one I had? Because I don't remember now. Oh, okay. Let me find it. Okay. My books are all falling. Okay. Brink from Bewitched and Oz. Now this is a duology that I really enjoy, and Brink I absolutely love. I love and adore him. He is such a cinnamon. He is such a sweetheart, and he is just, I love him. And but when you first meet him, his power doesn't seem as strong or as capable as the powers of Ziri, Tabitha, or Vashti. Um, but he proves himself, and he shows his powers can be very useful in crisis, and he and he proves himself to everybody that he is more than just what they always thought of him as, because like both the main character Ziri and one of her best friends Vashti had a crush on the same guy, Ned, which is Brink's older brother, and they all saw Brink as just Ned's little brother, but then they're forced to get to know him when they're all basically on the run, and they all and then they realize, hey, Brink is actually pretty an amazing person. Um, and he proves them all. He proves that he's strong and brave and fearless, and I absolutely love him. Next is Tales of Ba Sing Se. Pick your favorite novella or short story collection or poetry collection. So I don't actually have one of these because I'm not a fan of short story collections or poetry collections, but I do have some novellas I do plan on reading that because they go with the story of warriors, and I plan on reading warriors. There's also one I think for survivors which I plan on reading. So I will read novellas eventually, but when I get to those series. 6. Kyoshi Warriors. Pick your favorite warrior. So I have 3 for this one because it is so hard to choose. I cannot just choose one person apparently for any of these. I can't have one answer. So I obviously chose, my books are everywhere. I don't know where they all are. Okay, here it is. Inej Gotha, because she is a warrior and she is so strong and brave and fearless, and she's been through hell, and she comes out the other side, and she never stops believing and having faith, and she never stops fighting and keep trying, and she is awesome. I mean, her skills are amazing. Like the way she can walk on a tightrope, she can um nobody can hear her coming. She's that good. She can disappear in the shadows. She's amazing. She's my favorite character for those of you that did not know. But I love Inej, and she's definitely a warrior, and I love her. I also have Astra from A Daughter's Ransom. This is book 3. I haven't actually read this one yet, but I plan on reading it soon because I've been anticipating it, and I'm very excited for it. It's the last one out yet. The 4th one has not come out yet, sadly. But Astra is one of the main characters, and she is very strong-willed. She's been through a lot, and in the very first book, she kind of has PTSD because this is after the big war is over and the villain was stopped, but Astra doesn't actually think he's gone, even though she's the one supposed to kill him. She doesn't think he's actually gone, that he's here and back or returned or whatever. And she finds herself banished from her kingdom, and so she is forced to go to Luco's kingdom, and she does not get along with Luco. She does not like him, he does not like her, but they form an unlikely friendship, and they actually grow to really care about one another, as she tries to prove that Tyron is alive. But this is a really good series. It's also indie, as self-published, and I highly recommend it. But I absolutely love Astra in this series, so definitely check it out. And then I also have Lizzie from Ever After High. So as I probably mentioned, I don't like the Ever After High series. There's 4 books. The only one I like is the 3rd one. It's the only one that was good, and I am only slightly biased because I just love the Wonderland characters a lot, and this one is obviously about the Wonderland characters. Here's Maddie. She's daughter of Mad Hatter. That's Cedar. She's daughter of Pinocchio, but she's a main character too, even though she's not a Wonderland character. But Lizzie and Kitty are also in here a lot. Lizzie's daughter of Queen Hearts. Kitty is the daughter of the Cheshire Cat. And we don't get to see Lizzie as much in the series, except for during the Wonderland seasons. but in here we get to see that she has this warrior spirit, and she kind of takes charge as future Queen of Wonderland when everything goes wrong and everyone gets turned into objects and stuff. Like Raven gets turned into an actual raven, Apple gets turned into an actual apple, and so on. So and Pinocchio gets turned into a real girl, so she's still able to help. And then this disease, whatever you want to call it, does not affect the Wonderlandians because it's like Wonderland magic or something. Yeah, because the creature that is doing this is from Wonderland, so it doesn't affect the Wonderlandians. Um, and Lizzie takes charge and proves that she has what it takes to be queen someday, and even gets really badly hurt trying to save uh, a world that isn't that nice to her, a world that she doesn't even really like, and the people in it. And it proves that she has this warrior spirit and has a good heart despite who her mother is. Um, okay, and now we're on to fire. Suko, your favorite redemption arc or character you think should have had one? So I definitely think Draco should have had one. I mean, we kind of know that he ends up changing in the future, but we don't get to see it. I mean, at the end, you can kind of see that and we get to see that we do get to see his redemption arc a little bit more in the movies, but still not enough, if you ask me. Um, I mean, in Half-Blood Prince, for one, we get to see how much Draco's struggling with doing this and how much he doesn't want to. And then when his parents call him over when everyone thinks Harry's dead in Deathly Hallows, he doesn't want to go. And there's also a deleted scene that's only like 3 seconds long, so I don't know why they couldn't put it in the movie. But uh, when the fight breaks out, Draco throw and Harry gets out of his arms, Hagrid's arms, and shows everyone he's alive. Draco quickly yells Potter, throws his wand at him, and runs. And I'm like, that's like we should have seen that should have been in the movie. Like it's literally 3 seconds. So, but anyways, I just think we should have got was able we I just think we should have gone be able to see Draco's redemption arc. Like we all know he had one because by the end him and Harry seemed to be on good terms and he fell in love and had a son and yeah, but nope. We didn't get to see it, sadly. Um oh yeah, and then I also have where is it? Here it is. Kata from Spelled. So in this book or this series is a trilogy. Um This is probably the only trilogy where when the trilogy started in the very first book, I did not like the three main characters. Like the three characters it focuses on, I did not like any three of them. I didn't at all. So I almost didn't continue with the story because yeah, I was a little curious about the story itself, but at the same time, I need characters that I need at least one or two characters that I can actually like and read for. But luckily, two of those characters get a lot better in this book, especially Kato. He becomes my favorite character by the end of this book. But Kato, at the beginning of this book, he was such a jerk. Like, he was supposed to be marrying Dorothea, who's a princess, and he's a prince, I believe. And he's supposed to be marrying Dorothea, but he was such a jerk to her, and he's just plainly a jerk to everyone. Her, Rexy, but of course Rexy's just a jerk too, and I don't actually like her even at the by the last book. So, but still, Kato was a serious jerk. But throughout this book, the first book, you get to see his redemption, and you get to see it even more later on. Like him and Dorothea fall in love by the end of the first book, despite all odds, and he just becomes such a better person, and he just proves that I really enjoy his redemption arc. He just becomes the kind of king everyone deserves and the kind of guy everyone deserves, and he just becomes such an all-around guy. He even I'm not gonna say that because it's a spoiler, a huge spoiler. Like one you guys don't need to know in case you guys want to read this book. Um, so yeah, I'm not gonna say that. But moving on. What's next? Iroh, the wisest character. So obviously, Udrak from Seekers, because he's the smart one. He's the one with, he knows all the herbs that helps to heal wounds. He's the one that can see all the signs, tell them which way they're going in their journey, and he's just the wise character out of all of them. He knows things, and he's very smart and intelligent, and the group, even though Toklo doesn't like following him at first, it doesn't take long for him to realize what a great guy Udrak is and to actually get close to him. And everyone just sort of follows him and let him take the lead, even though he's not the oldest. I don't think he's necessarily the youngest, though. I think that's Lusa. But Kalik and Toklo are the oldest. They're kind of like the mother and father of the group, of the friend group. And then Lusa and Udrak are the, soft, smaller kids of the group. But yeah, so Udrak is that wise. He's the wise friend of the friend group. And then I also have, if I can find it. Right there. Bewitched and Oz. So in this book, I mean, obviously it takes place in Oz, but they do have a character who kind of comes to them when Tabitha is kidnapped by flying monkeys, and they are all kind of become exiled. Well, they don't technically become exiled, not like Astra does in Daughters Ransom, but they are fugitives now. That's what I was looking for. And so they kind of end up having to go on the run, but I have no idea what they're going, or what they're going to do, or how they're going to save Tabitha, or how they're going to be able to save their magic, since magic's illegal and they weren't supposed to be practicing their magic, but they are. And then all of a sudden, a glass cat appears, and it honestly has Cheshire Cat vibes. I mean, the cat is snippy, is not mad like, everyone in Wonderland is, but the cat is snippy, the cat is sarcastic, and the cat is funny. And the cat only appears whenever they need them, and then disappears again, and appears again to show them where to go next, and then disappears again. Like, seriously. And the cat's always running away when danger strikes and leaves them to deal with everything. Like, this cat is something else. But it's not just any cat either. It's a glass cat. She's made out of glass, but it's magic glass, so it's not like she can break. She doesn't break or anything. She's a magical cat made out of glass, and it's amazing. And her character's funny. Next is 9. Azula, your favorite downfall. So for this, I chose one of my very least favorite characters. Like, the only character I would put in the same category as Umbridge herself. I'm not even kidding. Like, I hate her, and I'm not gonna get into why I hate her right now, because I do not want to go in a 30-minute rant, because I swear that happens every time. Mary Hightower from Skinjacker Trilogy by Neil Schusterman. Yeah. And she is awful, and I hate her. And what makes her so bad is because, well, it's not the only thing that makes her bad. I mean, everything she's doing is awful and terrible, but she thinks what she's doing is right. Like, she seriously thinks she's the good guy, and I hate her so much. But you see her in book 1, she's this like high-powered person that everybody loves and respects and is just drawn to for some reason. And so she's so elegant and sophisticated, but then by book 3, which is the last book, all of a sudden she loses everything, and she's the villain, so obviously she loses, but she loses everything, and she just completely goes downhill. And I absolutely love that, because I hate this character so much. Yes, she is Umbridge. She is another Umbridge. She is bad. We do not stand her. Air. So now we're on the category air. Last category. Appa, your favorite fictional animal or pet. So obviously, I mean, if you guys know me at all by now, you know I was gonna choose Khalik from Seekers, because everyone knows that this book is one of my favorites, up there with Harry Potter. Like, they are my two favorite books, and Six Crows, because I'm obsessed with Six Crows ever since I discovered it, and ever since I read it last year. But yeah, Khalik is the polar bear, the white bear right here, and I just love her so much. I mean, these characters go through a lot, but I'd say Khalik and Toklo is the ones that do go through the most, especially in their early years in life. Um, but I'm gonna say Khalik goes through a little bit more because yeah, Toklo was kind of abandoned, but Khalik watched her mother die before her eyes, loses her brother. I mean, not he doesn't die or anything like her mother did, but they like can't find each other. They like get separated basically, and then she finds another mother. She gets kidnapped by flat faces humans, and gets stuck on a metal plane, airplanes, and finds another bear, an older bear, who kind of takes her in while they're together, and only for the metal bird to crash and for her to die right before her very eyes again. And that's only the start of it all. Khalik goes through a lot. They all do, really. But the difference between her and Toklo is that she doesn't lose. I mean, Toklo does have a good heart and he does care a lot. He does. But he's also very hot headed, stubborn, and pushes people away and can get very angry easily, short tempered, and Khalik isn't. She's kind and compassionate, but she's also very strong and fierce and independent and natural born leader and very loyal, and I just absolutely love her. She's my favorite character, for those of you that did not know. And obviously, she's my favorite fictional animal. 11. I have several for this one because I just could not narrow it down. So sorry for this long list. But A, the purest cinnamon roll, because I have I love a good cinnamon roll character, and there's just too many to choose from. So I have on my list. I have, let's see, Carlos from Isle of Lost. These are like the movie's descendants. Um, it's like, so the order, the movies and the books, the order is the first book goes first, then the first movie, then the second book, third book, second movie, fourth, third book, fourth. No, I got lost. Okay, let me try that again. First book, Isle of Lost, then Descendants 1, then Return to Isle of Lost, Rise of the Isle of Lost, then Descendants 2, then Escape from Isle of Lost, then Descendants 3. That is the order. If you guys have never read the books. This is the fourth one. I just grabbed this one. And Carlos, I mean Evie's a cinnamon roll too, but Carlos is just a cinnamon roll on all in every way. I mean, he's just pure and I love him and he's very underrated. Him and Jay are both very underrated. See, so I also have Victoria or Lake, whatever you want to call her, because she kind of goes by the name Lake on here. But an Effigy's trilogy. She is a side character. It's first person, right? This way. It's been a minute since it is first person. It's been a minute since I read this book, and I don't read first person very often. But she's a side character, and I really wish we got to see her more because she's just amazing, and I absolutely love her. She's such a cinnamon roll, and I just love her. She has anxiety. She's just amazing and I love her. Then there's Brink from Bewitched and Oz, I already said when I talked about him last time that he's such a cinnamon roll, so obviously he's gonna be on this list because he's such a cinnamon roll. I also have where is it? There it is. Leafpool from Warriors. Like I said, she's a really sweet. I don't know if I said that about her, but she's a really sweet character. She's such a cinnamon roll. Obviously, all these characters are cinnamon rolls. Ron Weasley's a cinnamon roll. I don't care what anyone says, he's a cinnamon roll. He has his flaws, but everyone does. He's a cinnamon roll. I love Ron Weasley. I also have, okay, so I forgot to grab this book, so I'm just gonna use this book because it's in the same universe. David from the Grishaverse. He's just such a cinnamon roll, and I adore him. He's such a cinnamon roll. I just love him. He's actually my favorite character in Shadow and Bone and King of Scars, for those of you that did not know. I absolutely love him. I also have, here. Cyclops from Ghoul Friends Forever, the first book in Monster High Ghoul Friends series. He's just so kind to them and sweet, and he helps them, and I mean he's kind of overlooked a lot at the beginning, but he eventually gets, by the last book, he gets the recognition he does more than deserves, and he's just such a sweetheart. He's always there for them and always points out just little things that nobody else would notice. Like, he's so observant, and he's just so shy and quiet but very smart, and he's just the definition of cinnamon roll. Okay. And then last character for this, I swear, last character. Okay, actually no. I also have Maddie from After High because she's a cinnamon roll. But I didn't put her on the list, but since I had the book out anyways, I was gonna mention her. But Draculaura from Monster High, in the movies and in the books, she's just such a cinnamon roll. She is definitely different, but she loves the difference. Like, despite the fact that she's a vampire and Dracula's daughter, she hates blood and meat. She's a vegetarian, and she wears pink, and she's very hyper and excited and has such a big heart, the biggest heart of anyone. She's very compassionate and very caring and just very amazing. And she's my favorite character, obviously, and she's just so sweet, and she's such a cinnamon roll. And that is it for the cinnamon roll characters. And now the last one, the Avatar State, a character that is extremely stubborn and struggles with letting go. So for this, I have Belle from, no, wrong book. I grabbed the wrong book. Okay, Belle from the Effigies trilogy. I do not like her character at all, but she does kind of fits this. She's extremely stubborn, and I mean, her entire character arc in this trilogy is the fact that she cannot let go. Like, she's struggling a lot because her mentor and best friend was the last fire effigy before Maya, who's the main character, comes up, and she obviously died because I mean, honestly, if you like Avatar: Last Airbender, this is actually the perfect series to read because it's about the four elements. Like, there's four, but instead of like, there's four girls at a time that have, and each one have a different element. When one dies, a new one with that element rises up and gets that power, and she can also scry, and she honestly kind of like the Avatar states. They can scry, which is what they call it, and kind of go back into their past lives. So honestly, this book, if you like Avatar, one of these days I'm going to do that, where I'm going to be like, you like Avatar: Last Airbender, read this book, and this is definitely going to be on the list, because if you like Avatar: Last Airbender, read this, I swear. But the main element is fire because it is in first person, and Maya is the main character and she's the next to fire FG. But anyways, Belle is her entire point is that she struggles with letting go because she cares a lot about, I don't remember her name. Natalie? No, it's not Natalie. What is it? It's something similar. I don't remember. But I have a bookmark in here, and I didn't remember I have a bookmark in here. Okay. but she struggles with letting go of her, and she has trouble accepting Maya because Maya's technically was called upon to take her place, even though this isn't what Maya wanted. She admired the effigies, but she never wanted to be one. And their entire goal is to save the world from phantoms who run amok. Um, and then I also have okay, Toklo from Seekers, because Toklo cannot. He is extremely stubborn, definitely, and he has a little trouble letting go from his past, which is why he's so hot-headed and so short-tempered, because he's constantly remembering his past, and like he just won't let it go. And if he let it go, maybe he'd be a little bit more free, and he might not, try to whatever, be all angry all the time, whatever. So yeah, Toklo is definitely deserves to be in this one. So I'm going to um tag a couple people that I know like Avatar Last Airbender. And I can't think of that many booktubers that actually like Avatar Last Airbender, at least booktubers that I have subscribed to, booktubers that have at least mentioned it or whatever. So the first two that came to mind is one of them is one of my closest and best booktube friends, Robin from the book Wormhole. She loves Avatar Last Airbender like me, and so I just thought she might enjoy this tag because it was a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to see what the answers she will come up with. And I also am choosing Murphy Napier. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but she's also a great booktuber. I definitely highly recommend. And I know she loves Avatar Last Better as well, so I'm very excited to see what her answers will be as well. So that's all for this video. Now I have a huge book mess and I have to put them all back. Wish me luck. I still have to make the thumbnail. I usually do that before I make the video, but this time I just didn't. Okay, so please like and subscribe and comment if you like Avatar Last Airbender, because if anyone out there wants to do this tag, you can I tag you guys as well. Just so I hope you enjoy this tag, and I can't wait to see your answers. Definitely tag me in them if you do it, because I would love to see your answers. And I'll talk to you guys later.